strength and pain. The labor of our heroes past shall never be in vain. To serve with honor and might, one nation bound in freedom, peace and unity.
You can please take your seats now. God bless the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Yes, indeed, Mr. Babs Omotawa has served his father's land in his capacity as the outgoing Managing Director of Nigeria NLNG. And indeed, answering the call of the father's land is the incoming Managing Director, Mr. Tony Atta. So you see, it's a beautiful evening. Indeed, history is to be repeated again, as there will be a change of guard here tonight at the helm of the Nigeria NLNG. Throughout the course of this evening, we will be hearing a lot of things about the man Babs Omotawa. But I think it's also fitting that we pause and hear from him, Babs Omotawa himself. So I would step aside again and allow you to enjoy a few minutes video, an interview he granted to some experts who spoke to him.
In every work I have done, there have always been three things I've always looked out for. One is to make sure I deliver on the critical key performance indicators. Two is to make sure that I improve and take that business to the next level. And three, of course, is to build the relationships and work to motivate and inspire others. We've been able to progress on the university support scheme, which has enabled the engineering faculties across the country to also be developed. Inspiration to society in what we've done with Bonny, in being able to marshal out a 25-year plan to see how we can take Bonny to become a Singapore or a Dubai. Inspiration to the country in terms of what we've done with the shipping, 6 ships we bought, which also included training 600 Nigerians, buying more than 10 million goods and exporting them to Korea, and also facilitating a dry dock. Being involved in all those has been quite an exciting time. The company where we have earned over $40 billion in the time I have been in position, and all accounted for, no single dollar was missing. As a leader, I've been able to show that you don't have to do anything unethical, irrespective of the pressures you get from across the country. In terms of structures, we've been able to bring the organization into one company, and functional excellence has also been brought into the organization. We've been able to show clearly that Nigerians are able to run world-class companies and run them properly. Today, NLNG can be classed as one of the FTSE 500 if we were listed in the stock exchange. If there's one thing I will say I wish we had made more progress on, would be Train 7. I think Train 7 is so important for the company or the bottlenecking of the existing plants, because with increased volumes, we will be able to counteract the effect of lower prices. We can get that from Train 7, or we can also get a lot of that from the bottlenecking the existing plant as well. So if there's something I wish we could have moved a lot faster, it will be on Train 7. My next job is to go back to Shell, my parent company, where I have been assigned a role in the global upstream leadership team as a vice president. So I will be providing leadership on S&E across about 20 countries, and I will sit on the global upstream leadership team reporting to the Shell director. I think it's always important that we allow our successors to chart their own course. But if I had any advice, it will be that he should work towards the vision of the company, which is to be a global company helping to build a better Nigeria. I think as long as we're working towards that vision and the objectives of the company, then I have no doubt in my mind that he will do the right things. I think I'd just like to be remembered for someone who came and tried to do the best for the company and who put in his best effort. I think that's I'm a simple person, so I think that will be good enough that I put in the best, and everything I did for the interest of the company, and that I never did anything for personal interest. I think that for me is enough.
Good evening, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, Your Excellencies. I stand on all protocols as already established. It's a great honor today to talk about Babs Omotowa, Babs Jolayemi Omotowa. I've known Babs since Shell, but I can't even confess to know the full meaning of Babs. Maybe today we will know. Babs is also known within Nigeria NLNG as Hurricane Babs, affectionately known as Hurricane Babs. But this is one hurricane that did not come to destroy. It's a hurricane that left Nigeria NLNG in a better place. I read somewhere that if an organization is in a stable, steady state, if it's steady as it goes, what you need is a manager. But if an organization is in turbulent times, it needs a leader. But I think whoever said that also got it a little bit wrong. Because if a leader comes in when you're already in turbulent times, he or she is only going to steady things. When you need a leader, it's before turbulent times arrive. And I think the Nigeria NLNG board really got that right in appointing Babs as the MD of Nigeria NLNG at the time that they did. Babs' predecessors faced the challenge of leading unprecedented growth in Nigeria NLNG from 1996 or so when construction started. Because between then and 2008, that company from zero LNG export for Nigeria grew to a plant that was capable of doing 22 million tons per annum. So their challenge was a challenge of growth. By the time Babs came, his challenge was different. It was to operationalize a company that was used to growth, that was going to face totally different challenges. That company needed to be operationalized. It needed to be prepared for the turbulence ahead. But it was very difficult at the time to tell Nigeria NLNG staff, and I dare say even the public, that those turbulent times were coming. For a company that was used to success, for you to then have a messenger who said you needed to prepare for something dramatically different, a future in which you actually may not survive. I think that was a very tough message. But as tough as it was even more difficult to let people see it. And so the challenge that Babs faced was trying to show people this vision without necessarily dampening their enthusiasm. And that's a challenge I would dare say Babs has seen thoroughly to the end, and has prepared Nigeria NLNG to be a better place for the future. What have we seen after, at the end of Bab's tenure? What is about to hand over to Tony? We have one company, one pair of eyes, with a company vision. I think everybody in Nigeria LNG can now truly talk about one company. Babs, in his approach to the company, was very professional. And even though what I'm about to say comes from a different side of business, an unseemly side of business, where people say it's business, it's not personal. As you probably know, that's what mafia chiefs say when they want to eliminate one of their colleagues. They say it's business, it's not personal. And you can also say that in the way that Babs approached Nigeria LNG, because he was very dispassionate about what he was doing. However, I will also say for Babs, it wasn't just business, it was also personal. And how so? Babs never spared a moment to coach or mentor. And I think for the first time, and I experienced this myself, and I've seen a number of colleagues say the same thing, Babs will send a personalized greeting to every staff on their birthday. You can say technology made it possible, but to even think about it and to do it, I think was very touching to the staff who got that message. The message will come promptly, 12 midnight, on the day before your birthday. And I think once I witnessed Babs lose his temper in public. And that's why I say it's personal. Again, we were talking about all the challenges that we face in a town hall for the entire company. And then somebody said, well, with all these challenges, how about indexing staff salaries to the dollar, so that we all can be protected? And I think Bab's response was something to the effect that, don't you get this? That's a very polite and mild version of how he expressed it. And I know the backlash, both among staff, just talking amongst themselves, and I think the feedback also got to him through the 10Bs, through the 10B review. But I said to some people, I said, leaders are humans, and it's important sometimes that they actually show that they are humans. They need to show emotion. And when a leader shows emotion, it also says, look, I feel it here. This is not theory. It is personal. So Babs, as you go, on behalf of your colleagues in the company, let me also remind you of something you said, which is, I think you paraphrased a leader, that no crisis should go to waste. I think you did not allow the crisis that Nigeria LNG faced go to waste. Thank you very much, Babs.
Distinguished personalities, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to plead to stand on the existing protocol. But then I'm not unmindful of an advice given to me some time ago by Babs Omotowa. He said that to stand on existing protocol, make sure you are lightweight. So I want to assure you that I'm not only a lightweight, I'm a super lightweight. Let me start by thanking my colleagues that nominated me to speak for and on their behalf. Their reason for selecting me is not known to me. However, I know that I have so far served 6 managing directors in Nigeria LNG. I have also served 8 deputy managing directors in Nigeria LNG. And 3 of the people that I have served are seated right here in this hall. Thank you very much for making me what I am. Babs, whatever I'm going to say about you, I think Engineer Tayo have said it all. And I shared in whatever he said about you. We as leaders of this company will never forget you. We'll never forget you for consistently pushing us to become a role model to other staff of the company. So we thank you for that and for consistently reminding us to be good listeners, reminding us to communicate very well with the people that we lead. We will never forget that. Babs, you have done quite a number of things in Nigeria LNG. So as you step out of this company, I will want you to raise your head high up and tell the whole world that your legacies are so entrenched in this company for the whole world to come and see. I will want to tell you that as you step out of Nigeria LNG, raise your head high up. Tell everybody that the improvements that you brought into our processes in this company are there for everybody to see. And we are proud of you for what you have done. You tried so hard to make us to be good role models. But unfortunately, some of us have disappointed you, Babs, because we do not have the kind of stamina that you have. We don't have the kind of energy, Babs, that you have. We do not have the kind of intellect that you have. And we cannot be able to answer mails by 3 a.m., Babs, like you. So I'm really, really sorry, Babs, for not able to catch up with you. However, for putting us on the right path, we are so happy that you are leaving us better than you met us. And honestly, and from the deepest part of my heart, I'm so grateful for all that you have shown to us and you have done to us as leaders of this company. And we are proud of you. But another thing is, as you step out, also remember that we are so proud as people and staff of Nigeria LNG to hand you over safely back to Shell and to tell Shell that we are handing you over better than we met you. While appreciating you, I will want to tell Tony, and I have told him before, that we welcome him into the world of Nigeria LNG, not only with open hands, but with open heart and with open mind. Welcome, Tony, into Nigeria LNG. Thank you very much, Babs Omotowa. We wish you all the best in your future endeavors. And we wish to tell you that your legacies will never and never be forgotten. Thank you very much.
May I invite Chisom Oswago, the head LNG sales, to please give her very brief comments. Thank you.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I continue to stand on the existing protocol already established. And like Mr. Ogini said, I'm equally privileged to be nominated as one of those to talk about Babs. Talking about Babs, I think I'll say Babs has done well, very well, as NLNG MD. He came in with a whole wealth of experience. He brought a lot of ideas and initiatives. Babs is so energetic in doing his work. Babs doesn't sleep. It's something you may not know about him. If you send an email to Babs by 1 a.m., he will respond immediately. 2 a.m., he'll respond. 3 a.m., even 4, and the next day, he's at work very early. And we don't know where he gets his energy. Babs has done a lot for us, and all his sleepless nights, hard work and effort, has resulted in the NLNG we see today, which is a company of choice. Please, let's give him a round of applause. In concluding, I will say it has been very exciting working with Babs, despite the fact that it was very hard working period, and sometimes we had overwhelming activities, but that has helped to form us and make us what we are today and brought out the potentials which most of us didn't know that we had. So Babs, we wish you all the best, and I pray that the God whom you believe in will guide you. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. Now, about or over 40 years ago, it is said that a particular road was intended for construction somewhere. It said it's around Bonny and Bodo. And for many years, this project was more like a white elephant project. Nothing was done about it. Mr. Babs Omotowa, in his time as managing director, secured the support of the board of directors of the Nigeria LNG and partnered with the federal government by providing 50% of the funding